What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down the wide receiver's secret to catching every pass thrown your way. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope it can teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know the day-to-day things you should do in the gym and on the field to improve your overall skills as a wide receiver, check out that very first link in the description below for our ultimate 8-week wide receiver workout plan. What you'll get access to is a 2-month daily schedule with the exact gym exercises and on-field drills wide receivers should be doing. We break down sets, reps, and give you an example of each exercise and drill. So check out that very first link below, fellas, if you're interested. Let's get started with this video. So this first catch here is going to be from Cooper Kupp. Now, the main reason I want to include this is just to show you guys that not every single catching scenario is so black and white, right? So when you guys are throwing the ball, from the time that you were taught, whenever you started playing football, 6 years old, 10 years old, whatever it is, there's been a phrase that's talked about like your hands are on a clock, right? So you got a big clock right here. You got 9 o'clock and then you got 3 o'clock. So any catch that would be above 9 and 3, like if you're standing in the middle of the clock, you would have your hands like this. Keep your hands in that diamond and keep your thumbs connected. Any catch that's below that 3 and 9, you would flip your hands and you would have your pinkies connected and almost catch that ball like with just your hands flipped essentially. Now in this specific example, obviously Stafford's throwing this around a defender. That ball is in front of Kupp. This ball is technically a low ball. Technically speaking, from a mechanics standpoint, he should be flipping his hands and trying to catch the ball because it's low. But you see how Cooper Kupp keeps his thumbs connected somewhat, and it's catching that ball in that diamond. It is not a black and white scenario when you guys have difficult catches, right? I'm not going to give you guys, basic advice where it's like, hey, make sure you look it in. Hey, make sure you tuck the ball away and keep your eyes to the tuck. You guys all should know that. When it comes to the difficult catches, the tough catches, what comes down to it, fellas, is just simply catching the ball. You just got to make sure that we catch the ball, and it comes from the habits that you build when you're catching a regular pass. I think everybody's athletic enough to make this type of a catch, but what a lot of receivers don't do is when they catch the ball, they're going through warm-ups, they're running easy ups, they take it for granted. They don't catch the ball at the right type of mechanics, catching the ball in their fingers. They don't look the ball all the way in and see it hit your hands. They don't do those little things in practice, which is what causes them to drop the tough ones, the jump ball, the catch in traffic. You just have to make sure that this right here is an automated habit. The only thing in your line of vision is the ball, and you were catching that ball in your fingers, not letting it bounce off your palms, and those hands or wherever it's comfortable to make a catch. So let's play this thing again full speed. Then we're going to talk about a low example and how the things that remain consistent is the eyes and how he is catching this ball. So let's look at Julio Jones now, right? So he's running a 10-yard out, ball was thrown low. So this is one where he flips his hands. So personally, and that catch with Cooper Kupp, if I'm teaching a young wide receiver who's maybe like 10 years old, I want to go back to that clip for a second, I'm teaching him to flip his hands on that. But if he doesn't flip his hands and he still comes down with the catch, then that's completely fine. Now, this is an example where wide receiver Julio Jones does flip his hands because that ball's almost hitting the ground. He flips his hands to where his pinkies are connected, but I want you to look at what he does with his eyes. He is seeing that ball hit his hands. Fellas, you could ask all the questions in the world. We could post all the videos in the world given different scenarios about catching the ball. But at the end of the day, the one thing that remains consistent on every catch, a one-handed catch, a diving catch, a routine catch on a hitch route, the receivers are looking that ball in and they're seeing the ball hit their hands. That is how you become a more consistent pass catcher. That is how you stop dropping the ball. Watch that football hit your hands. Okay, so now something that a lot of wide receivers don't do is they don't have like a phrase. Like when it comes to catching the ball, all it takes is a simple phrase that you have to say to yourself to help you get this catch every single time. So something I tell my wide receivers is pretend your eyes are a camera and you're trying to take a photo of the ball. That ball hits your hands, you're trying to take a photo snapshot of that thing. Pretend that ball is, maybe in like a picture frame that you put on like a desk, and you got that whole person in the picture frame, which is the football. There's not a bunch of different objects in the picture frame. It's just one person, self-portrait. That's how you want to look at that football when it hits your hands. Some people like to focus on an object on the football. The threads, no threads, being able to look for something on the ball, is that forces you to look at it. But whatever process is in your head, even if that's just, hey, keep your eye on it, that is completely fine. It's more so based on the athlete than a general concept when it comes to looking the ball in. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Julio Jones making this catch and seeing that ball hit his hands to show that that's what comes down to consistent pass catching, is looking the ball in. So this is an example here next of Michael Thomas running the exact same route. And this is something you do not want to do. You do not want to do this when that ball is thrown to you, because he gets straight up lucky in this case because he's turning his head out of there too quick. So when you start getting good at catching the ball, when you're starting to, not have to think about it as much, it is very easy to fall into this habit where ball's hitting your hands and you are peeking upfield, worried about getting upfield, worried about staying in bounds. You're not doing that picture frame catch. This is where drops will happen. Now, again, he catches the ball, and Michael Thomas has got some of the best hands in the game. And you see how he does look the ball in, but he doesn't see it in. He looks it in, but he doesn't see it to the tuck. Especially in a scenario where they're in right now, where it's t-shirt, not so much t-shirt and shorts, but t-shirt shorts. They got helmets on, they're in shell. You should be emphasizing those details, fellas. So in a game, it is an automated habit. If you do this and you look away just a second too quick, that is going to be a drop. You have to see that ball hit your hands, see it make contact with your hands, look for the laces, look for no laces, look it into the tuck, whatever helps you do it. But if you start getting in this habit of peeling your head out of there too quick and getting complacent with the ball and not emphasizing those details, that is where drops will come from. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Just make sure, fellas, we do not do this. We do not dip my head out of there too quick. Worry about catching the ball, then worry about getting upfield. You cannot do anything without that ball in your hands. Okay, so last example I want to go over here is the one thing that I think not enough wide receivers do on over-the-shoulder catches. So over-the-shoulder catches, it is just like any regular old catch in terms of your eyes and in terms of your hands. You have to see the ball hit your hands, take that photo. That's all you have to worry about. But one thing that can give you a leg up on the competition, one thing that can give you a leg up on a DB who's right on your hip is being late with your hands. So not enough wide receivers do this. But when you got a guy who's right on your hip, he's not running with his head looking back for the ball. At least he shouldn't be, right? Because that's a great way to lose the wide receiver that he's covering. That's a great way for a lot of bad things to happen for that DB. So he is going to be playing you. He's not going to try to play the ball with his hands until he sees your hands. So you want to have something we call late hands over the shoulder. We do not want to show my hands any earlier than I have to. A lot of wide receivers will take off. They'll be running a deep ball, and they will run with their hands out. Not only will that make you slower, but that tells that DB is, hey, shoot your hands right now. The ball is coming. So you have to make sure that we relate with my hands. We don't want to give away any details as to when that ball is being dropped over. And that's what Rieger does right here. Last possible second, he shows those hands, and he is very late with those hands, so the DB has absolutely no chance to make a play. So fellas, a deep fade, a deep post, a corner route and man coverage, QB's dropping it in. Don't give it away too early by showing your hands early. Whoever told you to go meet the ball up top when it's over the shoulder is wrong. When it's underthrown, yes, you want to go up and get it. But over shoulder, let's be late with those hands. I've got to say, we've worked with a lot of wide receivers, in different states, whether they've come down to California to work with us, whatever it is. And the one big main difference that we see a lot of times with guys who catch the ball is those elite guys have late hands, and those guys who maybe aren't that comfortable with the ball, aren't that comfortable downfield, they show their hands very early. You know what I mean? It's just a comfortability thing. It's getting used to it, fellas. And again, repping out the details when you're in practice t-shirt and shorts, because in a game, you cannot think about this stuff. It's all about the details. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys as usual. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 8-week wide receiver on-field and gym workout plan, over 500 plus gym exercises and on-field drills contained in there, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.